Hi, I'm Chef Gene Gonzalez, and I'm chef owner of Cafe Isabel and the Center for Asian Culinary Studies. Well, today it's all about Corte Riva. It's all about the Corte Riva dinner. And this is actually the second Corte Riva dinner. We've had numerous wine tastings, but why I say it's the second Corte Riva dinner was when my group of friends invited Nieves Cortez and Lawrence Cortez over for the first dinner, which we had some really traditional stuff. We had steaks, we had Caesar salad, we had all this. And today, we're doing Filipino flavors and Filipino-made wine. The Corte Riva wines, which are, I would say, these are top premium wines from Napa Valley. To be able to maintain 90 pointers in your reviews, there's got to be something here. There's got to be lots of talent involved, lots of good tasting, good technology, and this is Corte Riva Winery. And we decided we'd like to share this with the public, even though in our small way, we'd like to share and do Filipino flavors. I mean, the Thais make their own wine and they pair it off with Thai food. So do the people from Bali. So let's do Filipino flavors. And I think this will work so well because, you know, on analysis, we've been drinking these wines for over a decade. There's this analysis and this knowledge of how the wine is made that prodded me to do Filipino flavors, especially now we're not doing any of the mainstream Filipino flavors. We're doing really a lot of innovative, a lot of rediscovered Filipino flavors. And yeah, we start with durian hummus. The seeds are boiled, they're made into a hummus. We serve them to the guests. We serve ditak-ditak. So on the table, the guests are served ditak-ditak, little by little in Kapampangan. What is it? It's a whole cacophony. Or maybe if you taste it, it'll be a whole symphony because it's sweet potatoes, peanuts, cashew nuts, fava beans, purple yam, all of these, and small crispy anchovies and small shrimp all put together into a delicious appetizer, and we tamarind glaze it. That's how we're gonna start the Corte Riva dinner. Then we'll do a carpaccio. We'll do a carpaccio of octopus, and we'll do a carpaccio also together with regular white prawn, and we'll do blue marlin belly. Okay, now this carpaccio will be a little bit more different because we're going to do pili fruit, not pili nut, pili fruit cold pressing. We're going to cold press the pili fruit, get the oils and douse it, get a little fragrance, a little acidity coming from the fruit, and put it on our carpaccio. Give that nutty back note, and we'll pair it off. Of course, it'll be a little on the creamy side, so we're pairing it off with the Corte Riva, the new edition. This is the first time they're basically the first time in the public, or first time in the Philippines, they'll be bringing out a Corte Riva Chardonnay. And they do this well because Pride Mountain, where they used to work for, was a Chardonnay specialist. Then after this, we fill the mochi with inasal, manok inasal, but the manok inasal is cooked in burned coconut milk, tausug style, and we'll serve it in a coconut shell. We'll also serve a favorite fish of mine, lapad, pink lapad, and we're serving it with laing flan, taba ng talangka laced with chili, and we're serving it with Cordillera Balatino rice, which has some chocolate cocoa notes. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And we're serving you a balimbing sorbet, which we harvested in our backyard. And to complement the next courses, we have to complement the Cordillera wild boar sausage and beans that's been cooked in this fermented, salted, smoked Cordillera meat. No? There's no preservation, no refrigeration by the tribes. And we're doing this, and we cooked it all together. And we're serving it with a Merlot, a Corte Riva Merlot. We're also serving it, you just choose what you like, because this is a real tasting with food. And yeah, we're serving it with a spicy Cabernet, a youngish Cabernet. After this, we're opening a bottle of Corte Riva Cabernet Franc. And we're opening another bottle of Petit Syrah. This will be paired with duckling, small little mallards that have been stewed asado style, Kapampangan style. But we're serving it with coffee roasted chestnut and ginanggang, grilled croquettes. I think this the theme right now, and what's very strong right now in the Philippines is grilling and smoking. So we're just going to follow the trend. And yeah, ginanggang is a grilled banana. We make a croquette out of it, and that's how we're going to serve our duckling. Then we'll serve homemade Carabao cheese, 2 kinds that we made, and we're mopping it up with the most elegant, the most premium Mabuhay, a Cabernet Sauvignon done by Corte Riva. Pricey, but excellent. Pricey, but good for collectors, because I've opened some 20-year-old Corte Rivas, and they're excellent. Really, really good. So this 20-year-old Mabuhay, which is the top of the line, is probably going to knock all their socks off. And okay, and for dessert, the dessert theme is called sinunog. It's called burned. We burn and overdo the sans rival. We have a regular gâteau japonais, but we burn it. We burn the butter, and we make a buttercream out of the burned butter. We get some wild figs and wild santol, and we serve it with burned coconut milk ice cream, which is very common among the tausugs of Mindanao. And we have wild santol, which we were able to harvest. I put this in the menu the last minute. And yes, at the end of it all, we have one last bottle. The last surviving bottle of Mujeriego Zinfandel by Corte Riva. This last surviving bottle was a little barrique that I requested from Lawrence to produce. I wanted port wine. I wanted something that would last. And this was done in 2007. And this is the last bottle. And I'm serving it. It's been babied in my cellar. We've drank it through the years. We've enjoyed it. And I'm just serving this tonight to our guests. Well, keep on watching. I hope you love it. Our first wine for the evening is the 2017 Chardonnay. Nieves and Lawrence worked for a company that Nieves and Lawrence worked for Pride Mountain, which is a Chardonnay specialist too, and they created this wine, and I think this will do very well with the carpaccio, the seafood carpaccio, which will have cold pressed pili fruit oil, not pili nut, but pili fruit. Then we will have mochi stuffed with tiula itum, or chicken with burned coconut milk. Okay, and this will also blend well with the fish in Tabanan Palangka sauce. No? This is the crab fat sauce, the rich crab fat sauce, which will be complemented and highlighted by the Chardonnay. To go with our free-range duckling, this is my favorite, the Petit Syrah. Lots of black fruit. I mean, it's truly an expression of terroir when it comes to what Corte Riva has done. This is really a prime expression. And they have the top of the line Mabuhay. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. You got a lot of spice, leather, beautiful complexity, and this is what we're serving with the duckling. The last wine is another surprise wine. I fetched it from the cellar. This is from my personal stock. I named it as Mujeriego. This was a port wine made out of Zinfandel grapes made by Lawrence in 2007. The powerful fig and dried fruit notes are going to go very well with the brown and dark sugars that are going to be present with our dessert. A special for tonight will be these magnums that will be sold to the collectors. This is a fabulous wine because you drink it now, you drink it young. This was relatively young. This is 2003. It's so well rated. This Cabernet can be drunk now. You can open this now, and get a lot of spice and black fruit, some fresh herbs. But if you keep it for another 10 years, you're going to get even darker fruit, dark sugars, and jam. This is really a collector's wine and very limited. All the friends I have are around, and it's really great that we have in time Corte Riva, the presence of Corte Riva, Nieves Cortez here. We've been friends for this actual group has been friends for almost 20 years. We've been freeloading on her wine, and I guess right now it's best that we share this with the public, that we are able to pair off the highly rated wines. It's a phenomenal start. There's some write-up here about Corte Riva. Corte Riva is the first Filipino-owned winery in Southern California wine region. The owners of the winery, husband and wife, Lawrence Cortez and Nieves Cortez, and Rommel Rivera, immigrated from the US in the late 70s. They are great examples of immigrants who have achieved the American dream. They work their way. So, after decades in the wine industry and working their way up, in 2003, they decided to produce their own vintage. And this is so funny because they work for Pride Mountain, which is an award-winning winery. Their boss has been winning so many awards. And what they did was they just got the recipes he rejected and they brought it out. And suddenly, they had 90 pointers. You know, to get 90 points, when you're a winemaker, requires you years to get 90 points. But on the first vintage that they had, they immediately had 90 points. And the rest was history. They were always consistently getting 90 points. And I became very good friends with Nieves because he was introduced by Arnie and Jay. And I decided to have a Filipino-made wine for my son's wedding. And after I ordered the barrel, which they bottled, they came back to me after 2 months and said, "Your barrel made 94 points." So I became a little bit more, how would you call it, bearish in keeping the wine in my cellar. We released it during my son's wedding, but I've been drinking it with friends. Every now and then we'd bring out a bottle and taste it. And this is really a wonderful wine. It's a Petit Syrah. Okay? And we decided to create a dinner, but this time of Filipino flavors. The first Corte Riva dinner, where we guested Nieves and we introduced her to the Conyo crowd in the old Cafe Isabel. Was steak, Caesar salad, all the mainstream stuff, because we were kind of unafraid of how we would pair off. So this would be a little bit more on the daring side. The Thais make wine, they pair it off, and they're proud of their Thai food. The Balinese make wine, they also use Balinese food. So why not do Filipino flavors? Now that we're taking the limelight on world cuisine. So you've enjoyed the ditak-titak. This is tamarind glazed mixed stuff. You should know how I started. You know, we have these drinking sessions with the barkada. And I had a few candied tamarind. And we made it into a syrup and glazed whatever I could find. Chips. And it turned out really well. So I decided maybe we could serve this. And durian hummus. Everybody keeps on telling us that jackfruit, durian, all these seeds are edible. So we decided. So we're serving this with a Corte Riva Chardonnay. There's some oaking involved. It's very rich. in the style of Corte Riva, you never have subtle wines. They're going to be upfront. They're going to be so rich. And one of these days, I think I'll have buttered popcorn with this. No joke. I think it's going to be a terribly good pairing. We have a trio of sea carpaccios, and we cold press the pili fruit. This is not the pili nut, it's the pili fruit, which you soak in warm water, and it softens. If you soak it in hot water, it becomes hard, and you can't use it. So we use the cold pressed pili fruit, and we got some carisas in brine, carisa carandas, and we pickled that in brine. We're serving also a tinola with buchi filled with pianggang chicken. So the pianggang chicken is served with burned coconut meat. Then we have a lapad of lapad of fish. It's a pink lapad. I like the texture, and they have laing flan. And to give it a Bicol touch, then we put some spicy tabanan talangka and served it with Balatino rice. The Balatino rice came from Baguio. My son is a semi-resident there, so there's a season for Balatino. It has some delicious cocoa flavors, almost chocolate. Then we have the Balingbing sorbet, which I'm a cheapskate, so we just harvested it from the backyard. Corte Riva Merlot and Corte Riva Cabernet Franc. We're going to serve this with Cordillera beans, black beans and white beans. Then we were able to source some boar. So the last moment, I passed the menu around. There was no boar sausage. We were able to get some wild boar. It's very good. We should eat more wild boar. They're getting to be a pest all over the world. So, yeah. Then there's pinuneg or blood sausage and kinuday. Si Doc Roel meron. Asadong bibe, so free-range duck, served with roasted shallot confit, drenched with Ilocos vinegar. Coffee roasted chestnut, ginanggang croquette, which is a grilled banana, grilled saba, that we made into a croquette. And we're serving this with my favorite, the petit sirah, which is really loads of black fruit. And in between, we're serving it with the top of the line Corte Riva Mabuhay. Pricey, but really built for connoisseurs and collectors. The Corte Riva Mabuhay is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's their top of the line. And I recently opened an 18-year-old Mabuhay, and it was drinking really well. So we're serving this also with 2 homemade Carabao cheeses. And the theme of dessert is called sinunog. I think we burned the Sans Rival. But since we have nothing else, we'll serve it to you. Then we were able to get some wild, told you I'm a cheapskate. My friend sent me some wild santol. And then I picked off some wild fig confit. We made a confit out of the wild figs, which grows right outside the gate. And burned coconut ice cream. They burned the coconut. So that will be dessert. And today is going to be monumental. In 2007, when I just met Nieves and Lawrence, I asked them to make me a port. It's called Mujeriego. I named it Mujeriego. Maybe you think I'm immoral, but it's okay. Look it up, what Mujeriego is. Anyway, Mujeriego is a custom Zinfandel port. This is the last bottle. I was so confident. I told Nieves, oh, I think we have a couple or 3 bottles left. And then I went down the cellar today, and I only have 1 pala. I only have 1. So we're going to be sampling this port with the dessert. And maybe if you want to extend the evening, we can smoke outside. We have cigars. Okay? And thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the evening. Enjoy the wines. They need to breathe a lot, swirl it, roll it, enjoy. And enjoy dinner with the music of Mr. Nando Argones.
Right out of Corte Riva wines. I think what we're having first is that's the Cabernet Franc. It's 2007 vintage. And the then the second one, that's the Chardonnay. That's my blend.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we bought the juice from somebody from Primark. So they already bottled their spurs. And I told my husband and my cousin, because they're also a winemaker there, I said, bring me a bottle. So they did. So I tasted it. It tastes like, how do you say, yung mapait? Parang
Bitter.
Bitter, yeah. And I said, can we do something different? And sure. And then, what blend? And I goes, buy Muscat Alexandria. Just a little touch.
It's sweeter.
Yeah. So they did. And I never want to drink the Chardonnay. After we bottled it, I said, oh no, I don't like it. And they said, my husband and my cousin said, well, that's your blend. And I said, I don't like it. So, but after so many years, and and they said, try it now. And I tried, and I said, oh wow, and I said, wow, I like it. So a lot of people, they said it's 2007 vintage, 17 vintage, and they cannot believe that's still alive. Yeah.
Also, Cabernet Franc. Very hard to come up with a pure Cabernet
Yes, the
Franc.
Cabernet Franc is very sensitive to make. So the Cabernet Franc, it's I think Sonoma and Napa Valley. Yeah. So, and thank you, and you need to taste everything. Don't miss it.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. I like that. Yeah. So, okay. Enjoy. 2001 when our first vintage. 2001. 2001. Not 2003.
2002.
1.
Talaga?
Because hindi nyo wala na yun na sold out right away. Kasi I am new in the business, so hindi ko alam. So when someone said, I wanna buy, okay, go. We only have 3 bottles left. That 2001.
Ano yung Merlot?
Merlot. Yeah. It's 93 points from Robert Parker.
for blending, but it also takes an expert touch to make a pure Cabernet Franc. Now we'll serve you a Merlot. If you watch sideways, this will dispute what they have to say about Merlot. But the fruit of this Merlot, 2003, this will be available now, and this will be available on the 27th when we have the wine tasting. And after that, we don't know, because this is what's left in their cellars. It's from the Kennefic Vineyards in Calistoga, California. And this contributed, the vineyards contributed to the intense flavor of this wine. Aged for 18 months in French oak. Okay, a medium dark ruby colored wine with rich flavors of luscious ripe and matured blackberries, black cherry and plum. Dimensions of vanilla and chocolate mocha added to the deep concentrated mid palate that is elegant and lively. Starting to sound like Parker. The sweet aroma of cherry licorice intensifies and completes the wine with an extremely long finish. So enjoy this. It's going to be my first time going to try the 2003. Never had it.
Don't miss it.
Nieves, they've kept it and now they're releasing it. Thank you, and we'll make more. We'll give you more descriptions of the wines. Yeah.
you.